family, friends, and dignitaries, all military personnel, and especially our veterans and their families. Thank you for choosing to be here this fine Saturday afternoon. American Legion Post 189, post the colors. Please stand if you are able. You can join us now and sing it. It's our Springer Thing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Very nice. Thank you. You can see it now. Members and guests, the purpose of this service is to honor our country's flag, to celebrate the anniversary of its birth, and to recall the achievements attained beneath its folds. We are also here to honor and recognize the men and women who have dedicated or currently dedicated their services to ensure our freedoms and rights of this great nation by proudly serving or have served in the military. For they are the reason Old Glory still shines so brightly and tall. We must never ever forget the contributions and sacrifices these families, friends, and even strangers have given, even up to the ultimate sacrifice. It is quite appropriate that such a service should be held by the Order of the Elks, an organization that is distinctly American, intensely patriotic, and without counterpart. Esteemed leading knight, what are the fraternal aims of the benevolent and protective Order of the Elks?
To inculcate the principles of charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity, to promote the welfare and happiness of mankind, to uphold our country and its laws, and to quicken the spirit of American patriotism.
Esteemed leading knight, what is the significance of the American flag?
It is emblematic of the crowning virtue, charity.
Esteemed loyal knight, what is the significance of the American flag?
It is emblematic of justice for all.
Esteemed lecturing knight, what is the significance of the American flag?
It is a symbol of brotherly love.
Lodge Esquire, what is the significance of the flag from the station of the exalted ruler?
It is a symbol of fidelity.
Charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity are the cardinal principles of our order, and they have exemplified all of our services. By them we teach love of the country and of our countrymen and loyalty to all our American way of life. And I'm going to go off script right now. Would all veterans please stand? Thank you for your service. Be seated. To be an elk, good man. That's a good deal. To To be an elf is to be an American citizen who lives for their country and is ready to die for it. Please stand if you're able. Our chaplain Doris Reed will lead us in prayer.
Almighty God, in this hour of patriotic observance of the birthday of our American flag, may we ask you to bless our flag and the people of these United States. For all that our flag represents, both at home and abroad, we thank thee, and that through all our history as a nation, it has been an ensign of freedom, liberty, and opportunity. And through the years to come, may this flag wave as the banner of liberty, freedom, and enlightenment. May this service bring to each of us a sense of loyalty to our country and enable us to be better patriots, truer citizens, and more loyal Americans, to thy glory and to the honor of this great nation. Amen.
Everyone, please be seated, that we may better understand the meaning of our flag. I call upon Scott Peter for the history of the flag.
Unfortunately, I'm not much of a mic man, so you're not going to hear me from the mic aspect of it, so I'm going to turn this off. The flag, its history, heralded as old as the human race. The carrying of banners has been a custom among all peoples in all ages. These banners usually contain some concept of life or government of those who fashioned them. The evolution of the American flag marks the progression of the government of the American people. From the founding of Jamestown in Virginia in 1607 until 1775, the flag of England was the flag of the people of America. In 1775, the pine tree flag was adopted for all colonial vessels. And this was the banner carried by the Continental Forces of the Battle of York. The southern colonies from 1776 to 1777 used the same flag. Enter the state flag. In the latter part of 1775, the Continental Congress appointed a committee to consider the question of a single flag for the 13 colonies. That committee recommended a design of 13 alternate stripes of red and white and an azure field in the upper corner bearing the red cross of St. George and the white cross of St. Andrew. John Paul Jones, senior lieutenant of the flagship, Alfred, hoisted this flag to the masthead on December 3rd, 1775. And 1 month later, it was raised over the headquarters of General Washington in Cambridge, Massachusetts, in compliment, as he wrote, the United Colonies. This flag, called the Continental Colors and the Grand Union, was never carried in the field of battle, in the field by the Continental Land Forces, but it was used by the Navy and its exclusive ensign, and was the first American flag to receive a salute of honor, a salute of 11 guns from the Fort of Orange in the Dutch West Indies, in response to a general demand for a banner more representative of our country. The Congress on June 14, 1777, provided that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating red and white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white and a blue field, representing the Constitution. It is generally believed that in May or June 1776, a committee consisting of George Washington, Robert Morris, and George Ross commissioned Betsy Ross, a Philadelphia Quakeress, to make a flag from a rough design they left with her. It was said she suggested that the stars should be 5 points rather than 6. The starry banner was first flown at Fort Stanwix. Cut the stars from the particular banner was the mother of Henry Sanderson, the grand exalted ruler. This starry banner, I'm going to step back one sentence. This starry banner was first flown at, we're one flag ahead here. One flag ahead. I got where we got that one. Sorry. Sorry for the mix-up, folks. So the flag we just posted, we still have more to read on that. The starry banner was flown at Fort Stanwix, called Fort Schuster at the time, in the city of Rome, New York, on August 3rd, 1777, and was under fire 3 days later at the Battle of Oriskany, August 6th, 1777. During the British and Indian attack, the first official salute to the Stars and Stripes was given on February 14, 1778, by France. On the French coast, the Ranger, under the command of John Paul Jones, was saluted by the French fleet. This flag, then carried by the Ranger, was made by the young woman of Fort Smith, New Hampshire, from the stripes from their best colored silk dresses and white wedding gowns of a recent bride. This was said that the name Ranger's flag was flown by Jones's ship, the Bowen Richard, in its thrilling flight by moonlight upon the high seas with the British frigate Seropsis. When Seropsis struck her colors, the immortal fame of John Paul Jones was ensured as intrepid defender of the youthful republic. The original 13 stripes and stars and stripes represented the original 13 colonies. In 1775, 2 additional stars and stripes were added to represent admission to the Union of Vermont and Kentucky. Under this banner of 13 stars and stripes was fought the War of 1812. It was the site of it flying over Fort McHenry on September 14, 1884, that inspired Francis Scott Key write what was to become our nation's anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. Miss Margaret Young, who cut the stars from the particular banner, was the mother of Henry Sanderson, the grand exalted ruler. The Congress on April 14, 1818, adopted a representative that after July 4th, 1818, the number of stripes should be 13, and that the blue field should carry 1 star for each of the 20 states in the Union, and the new star should be added for each state thereafter admitted. Since 1818, there has been no change in the flag design except that the 28 new stars were added before July 4th, 1912, and this flag of 48 stars flew over the nation for 47 years until before the Vietnam War. On July 4th, 1959, a star was added for Alaska, our first non-connected state, and a year later, Hawaii, our first island state, added the 50th star. Our present flag, 50th stars and stripes, 13 stripes, accompanied by the POW MIA flag to recognize the plight and demise of a special group of Americans in armed services who were prisoners of war or still remain missing in action.
Please stand and salute our flag. As this emblem is first in our hearts as loyal Americans, so is it close to our altar as loyal Elks. The gentle breezes with lingering caress kiss the folds of no flag which can compare with its beauty. There is no such red and budding rose in falling leaf or sparkling wine, no such white in April blossom, in crescent moon or mountain snow, no such blue in a woman's eye, in ocean's depth or heaven's dome, and no such pageantry of clustering stars and streaming light in all the spectrums of sea and sky. Please be seated. Our flag is at once a history, a declaration, and a prophecy. It represents the American nation as it holds the opportunity for the future and other stars of the glorious constellation. Benevolent and Protective Order of Elks is the first and only fraternal body to require formal observance of Flag Day. In July of 1908, the Grand Lodge of this order at Dallas, Texas, then assembled to provide for the annual nationwide observance of Flag Day on the 14th of June in each year by making it mandatory upon each local lodge of the order. The unique distinction as the strongest promoter of Flag Day is most becoming to the Order of Elks. The order is distinctly American. Only American citizens are eligible to join in and has no foreign affiliations. It has linked its destiny with the destiny of our country and made this flag its symbol of self-dedication to God, country, and fellow men. Lead Knight Christine Crown will now lead the response. All right, at this time, we're going to have our patriotic address, followed by America the Beautiful.
Good morning. Thank you, Good afternoon, I should say. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. I get to be the police chief for this fine community in Watertown. My name is Dave Rowley. I've been an officer here in the city for almost 25 years, which is a great blessing and an honor that I'm truly humbled by. And having your attention this morning is also a great honor. Today I'm just going to connect several loosely connected thoughts on Flag Day. Thought number one. What does our flag represent? I've heard it said that the United States flag is the visual, physical embodiment of the Constitution of the United States of America. When you see the United States flag, you should think Constitution. Imagine being a citizen of a country who has a monarch, such as England had when we formed this nation. If you were a citizen of England at that time, and you looked at Great Britain's flag, you might think King George. But the United States of America has no monarch, and so it is the Constitution that rules us instead. It is our collective agreement as citizens, our unity, to follow the foundational ideas of the Constitution that made our nation unique in the world. In that case, then, our flag represents this. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Of course, you all recognize that as a preamble to the Constitution. To form a more perfect union, what is that referring to? Well, our Constitution, and thus our flag, are rooted in the concept of unity, cooperation, working together, finding common ground. Thought number 2. The flag represents unity. What is unity? Perhaps we can define it by describing what unity is not. It certainly is not anarchy. It is not lawlessness. Our flag represents the opposite of anarchy. I still recall a bit from philosophy class back in college, reading Thomas Hobbes in his work Leviathan, written in 1651, over 100 years before our country began. He wrote of the terrifying specter of a world without cooperation, a world without societies and governments. He wrote, "Worst of all, such life would be continual fear and danger of violent death, and the life of man, solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short." But praise be to the Creator God that we have here in this land, visually represented by this flag, unity, cooperation, agreement, goodwill. Thought number 3. Unity is the right to petition the government for a redress of grievances, sometimes in the form of peaceful public protests. Unity is not violence or looting or vandalism or theft in the name of social action. Unity is not attacking one another. It is not launching fireworks at police officers. It is not throwing bricks or frozen water bottles or flaming gasoline bombs or urine. It is not burning our flag or stomping on it, spitting on it, or desecrating it in any way. No. Unity is what we are doing here today, meeting together to acknowledge and honor and memorialize the things we hold in common. The U.S. flag properly and proudly flies over this meeting because we respect it, and we respect the Constitution it represents, and the unity that the Constitution engages with. Here today we have peace, tranquility, respect, and love for one another as fellow citizens working together to promote this great nation. Thought number 4. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Pledge allegiance. What does that mean? Well, it means to promise to be loyal to it, to respect it, to defend it. But what does it mean to be loyal to the flag of the United States? Well, the pledge continues and tells us, "And to the republic for which it stands." To pledge allegiance is to promise to be loyal to the United States itself, to the nation that is under God, to the nation that cannot be divided. Remember? Unity. One nation, under God, indivisible. To be loyal to each other, for every citizen to be loyal to every other citizen. And then the pledge continues with 2 more things that all of us are guaranteed by the Constitution, which the flag represents, with liberty and justice for all. Thought number 5. John Philip Sousa, the famous composer and patriot, spoke during World War I for a speech on the American flag in 1917. He said, "The stars and stripes is the emblem of a unified nation, of a people who have stood together through trials and triumphs, bound by a common love of liberty." Thought number 6. Independence Day speech aboard the USS John F. Kennedy in New York Harbor on July 4th of 1986. The event was marked by a grand fireworks display, and President Ronald Reagan used the occasion to underscore the flag's role in uniting diverse Americans. He said, All through our history, our presidents and leaders have spoken of national unity and warned us that the real obstacle to moving forward, the boundaries of freedom, the only permanent danger to the hope that is America, comes from within. My fellow Americans, it falls to us to keep faith with them and all the great Americans of our past. Believe me, if there's one impression I carry with me after the privilege of holding for 5.5 years the office held by Adams and Jefferson and Lincoln, it is this: that the things that unite us, America's past of which we're so proud, our hopes and aspirations for the future of the world and this much-loved country, these things far outweigh what little divides us. And so tonight we reaffirm that Jew and Gentile, we are one nation under God, that black and white, we are one nation indivisible, that Republican and Democrat, we are all Americans. Tonight, with heart in hand, through whatever trial and travail, we pledge ourselves to each other and to the cause of human freedom, the cause that has given life to this land and hope to the world. Thought number 7. Perhaps the most poignant use of the United States flag is when it drapes the coffin of a dead soldier or police officer. That's because that death of one of us represented the ultimate sacrifice given for the furtherance of unity, for the furtherance of peace, of tranquility, of respect, of love one for another. As the good book says, no one has greater love than this, that someone would lay down his life for his friends. Thought number 8. We are very recently embroiled in war with Iran. Iran is the epitome of evil intent against the United States of America. If the current government of Iran had its way, according to its own words, it would destroy the United States and kill every American citizen. Iran is death. Iran is the opposite of unity. Thought number 9. To burn or desecrate the flag is to wish harm upon what it represents, to wish harm upon our country, to wish harm upon our people, to wish harm upon our shared values and beliefs. Thought number 10. This is a poem named My Name is Old Glory by Howard Schnauber. Credit to the Fort Collins Public Library Local History Archive. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over institutions of learning. I stand guard with power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident. I am even arrogant. I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is a little higher, my colors a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped. I am saluted. I am loved. I am revered. I am respected. I am feared. I have fought in every battle of every war for more than 200 years. I was flown at Valley Forge, Gettysburg, Shiloh, and Appomattox. I was there at San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, in the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, and the beaches of Normandy, Guam, Okinawa, Korea, and Quezon, Saigon, Vietnam, Nome, I was there. I led my troops. I was dirty, battle-worn, and tired. But my soldiers cheered me, and I was proud. I have been burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries I have helped set free. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I have been soiled upon, burned, torn, and trampled in the streets of my own country. And when it's done by those whom I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the bonds of earth and stood watch over the uncharted frontiers of space from my vantage point on the moon. I have borne silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hours are yet to come. When I am torn into strips and used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the battlefield, when I am flown at half-mast to honor my soldier, or when I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving parent at the grave of their fallen son or daughter, I am proud. I am the flag of the United States of America. In closing, I believe God was in agreement with the formation of this United States of America. The success of the venture proves it. For as the people of this country aligned themselves with the values and precepts found in His Word, God was motivated to protect and prosper the ones who named Him and followed His ways. It is not enough to merely ask God for His blessing. We also need to do things His way in order to expect the blessing of His amazing assistance. I pray that we as a nation will always and forever come together in unity beneath this noble flag, in reverence and respect to the Constitution it represents, and the unity the Constitution empowers. May God always bless the United States of America, and may this flag forever wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Okay, thank you so much, Chief. At this time, as you can see, we have gone out of order in our program highlights. We're going to do God Bless America. Beth and Dave will lead us, and it's in your flag.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Thank you. And this time, we'll have a response from Christine Crawford.
Stars and Stripes, flag of the United States of America, the worldwide hope of all who under God would be free to live and do His will. Upon its fold is written this story of America, the epic of the mightiest and noblest in all history. In the days when peoples of the old world groveled in abject homage to the heresy of the divine right of kings, a new constellation appeared in the western skies, the Stars and Stripes, symbolizing the divine right of all to life, liberty, happiness, and peace under endowment by their Creator. To what man or woman is given words adequate to tell the story of the building of this nation? That immortal story is written in blood and sweat, in heroic deeds and unremitting toil, in clearing the primeval forests and in planting of vast prairies, where once the coyote and buffalo roamed. Onward swept the nation, spanning wide rivers, leaping vast mountain ranges, leaving in its path villages and farms, factories and cities, till at last this giant nation stood astride the continent, from the Atlantic to the Pacific. This is the heritage of the people of the United States. It has been repurchased by each succeeding generation and must be re-won again, again, and again until the end of time, lest it too shall pass like the ancient empires of Greece and Rome. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. What was won at Lexington and Concord and Bunker Hill had to be repurchased at Ticonderoga and Yorktown. What John Paul Jones achieved upon the high seas in the War of Independence had to be repurchased by Commodore Perry on Lake Erie in the War of 1812. The prestige of Admiral Dewey's victory at Manila Bay in 1898 was rewon by the naval battles in the seas above the far distant islands of the Pacific. After the sneak attacks upon Pearl Harbor and Manila in 1941 had summoned our country to a seaman's role in World War II, what our troops achieved under the Stars and Stripes at Chateau Thierry and Flanders in World War I. Their sons were required to repurchase in World War II in the bloody trek across northern Africa, on the beachheads of Europe, and in the Battle of the Bulge. The flag our American men raised at Iwo Jima was the same flag later raised in the defense of Incheon, Busan, and Pork Chop Hill in far-off Korea. Then another generation under that same flag fled to stem the threat of communists in far-off Vietnam. Our people, young people, were again called to carry our flag in the defense of a free world in the actions in Grenada and Panama. Willingly, our brave men and women carried our flag and the honor of the American people into battle in Operation Desert Storm. And who among us will ever forget the sight? Sorry, I have a hard time with this word. Forget the sight of firefighters raising our flag over the ruins of the World Trade Center. The military personnel draping our flag on the side of the Pentagon, or the citizens of Somerset County, Pennsylvania, placing our flag near the site where brave Americans died fighting the hijackers of Flight number 93. No other symbol could have offered such comfort as we still today endure the horrors of that day. Today, American armed forces carry our flag in the villages of Iraq, the mountains of Afghanistan, and the jungles of the Philippines, and wherever terrorism may reside. Their struggle against the sponsors of terrorism is the hardest battle yet, and this threat to our nation and to our way of life is certainly as great a challenge as our flag has ever seen. The resurgence of patriotism since September 11, 2001 has rekindled respect for our flag. We see the Star-Spangled Banner whenever we turn, on homes, businesses, automobiles, and billboards. Such displays stimulate our love for our nation and for what it stands. They remind us of the sacrifices being made by the men and women of our armed forces around the world. And they are a tribute to the heroes of the police and fire departments the nation over. The greatest significance of this flag, however, lies in the influence it has in the hearts and minds of millions of people. It has waged over the unparalleled progress of the nation in developing democratic institutions, scientific and technological knowledge, education, and culture. It has served as a beacon for millions of poor and oppressed refugees abroad, and stands as a promise that the underprivileged will not be forgotten. What is the meaning of the flag of the United States? There can never be a definitive answer to that question. There are people in this world who see it as a symbol of imperialism. Others see it as a destiny of the people. But Woodrow Wilson resolved his reference to these and similar views when he said, "This flag, which we honor and under which we serve, is the emblem of our unity, our power, our thought, and shape of this nation. It has no other character than that which we give it from generation to generation. The choices are ours. Only love, true love of our fellow man, can create peace. The emblem and token of that love is the stars and stripes, the symbol of the American way of life. Our fathers, God to thee, author of liberty, to thee we sing, long may our land be bred with freedom's holy light. Protect us by thy might, great God, our King."
Thank you, Chris. Lodge Square, how shall we further honor our flag?
The flag is formally honored by the Pledge of Allegiance. This pledge was written in 1892 by Francis Bellamy and published in the Youth's Companion as part of a patriotic campaign of the magazine. The pledge did not become part of the flag code until 1942, and in 1954, the phrase, "Under God," was added.
Stand if you can. Let us all stand and pledge ourselves to never forget the principles represented by our flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. At this time, we will have our solo America the Beautiful, Dave Carter. At this time, American Legion Post 189, Green Colors, please. In conclusion of this observance of Flag Day, let us rededicate ourselves to the flag of the United States of America. And may the principles of charity, justice, brotherly love, and fidelity ever increase in each of us. I now declare this service closed. Please join us for lunch afterwards.